living in a house half a block down the street from Jerry's bait shop. You know the place. Well, anyway, back then life was going low and everything was just fingers. Except, of course, for the undeniable fact that every single morning, my mother would make me a big old bowl of sauce for breakfast. It was driving me crazy. I said to my mom, I said, "Hey, Mom! 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 Mom!" That's when I swore that someday I would. Where the sun is always shining and the air smells like shit and the towels are oh so nickel. Waka waka doo doo, yeah. Well, let me tell you, people, it wasn't long at all before Dream came. Because the very next day, a local radio station had this contest to see who could shave from Leonard Nimoy's butt. And I won the grand prize. That's right, a nickel. Waka waka doo doo, yeah. That's right, a first class one-way ticket to Albuquerque. Oh yeah. You know, I'd never been on a real airplane before, and I gotta tell you, it was really except that I had to sit between and the little kid in back of me kept throwing up the whole time. And oh yeah, 26 and a half of the airplane engines burned out, and we went into a tailspin and crashed into a hillside.
They're not saying anything.
Everyone died. The end.
That didn't help at all.
You know why? Cause I had nuts! So I crawled from the twisted burning wreckage. I crawled from the twisted burning wreckage. I crawled from the twisted burning wreckage. On my hands and knees for 3 full days. But finally I arrived at the world famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn where the towels are oh so nickels. And you can eat your right out of your ass if you wanna. It's okay, you're okay. Well, I turned down the AC when I turned down the AC and I turned down the AC and I'm just about to turn down the AC when suddenly there's a knock on the door. Well, now who could that be? I say, who is it? No answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? So finally I go over and just as I suspected, it's some big fat. Oh man, I hate it when I'm right. And he's like, tough. And I'm like, tough. And he's like, make me. And I'm like, tough. So I grabbed his leg and he grabbed my esophagus and I bit off his ear and he grabbed my esophagus and I took out his appendix and he cut off my arms and legs with a chainsaw. And somehow in the middle of it all, the phone got knocked off the hook. And 20 seconds later, I heard a familiar voice. And you know what it said? I'll tell you what it said. It said,
"Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still..."
Well, to cut a long story short, he got away with my chainsaw. But I made a solemn vow right then and there that I would not rest. I would not sleep for an instant until the one-nostriled man died. But first I decided to buy some donuts. So I got in my car and I drove over to the donut shop and I walked on up to the guy behind the counter and he says, yeah, what do you want? I said, you got any glazed weasels? He said, no, we're out of glazed weasels. I said, well, you got any Jerry's bait shop? He said, no, we're out of Jerry's bait shop. I said, you got any? He said, no, we're out of. I said, you got any cinnamon? He said, no, we're out of cinnamon. I said, you got an ass? He said, no, we're out of ass. I said, you got any bugs? He said, wait a minute, I'll go check. I said, well, in that case, what do you have? He says, all I got right now is this box of 12 starving, crazed wee-wees. I said, okay, I'll take that. Oh, man, they were just going nuts. They're tearing my nuts apart. I believe it went a little something like this. I ran out into the street with these flesh-eating wee-wees all over my face. And as luck would have it, that's exactly when I ran into the girl of my dreams. Her name was Zelda.
You've got to be kidding.
I'll never forget the very first thing she said to me. She said, "Hey, you got weave on your face." That's when I knew it was true love. We were inseparable after that. Oh, we bathed together, we bathed together, we bathed together. Oh, we were so very, very, very happy. Oh, yeah. But then one fateful night, Zelda said to me, she said, "Sweetie Pumpkin, I want you to cut off my arms and legs with a chainsaw." So I did. So we broke up and I never saw her again, but that's just this goes in Anyway, things really started looking up for me because about a week later, I finally died. I even made Employee of the Month after I put out that grease fire with my face. Oh yeah, he was pretty jealous of me after that. I was getting a lot of attitude. So I say to him, I say, "Hey, you want me to help?" And Marty, he just goes, "No, I want you to die." So I did. Besides, now he's got a really cute nickname, Asshole Boy. So what's he complaining about? Say, that reminds me of another amusing anecdote. This guy comes up to me on the street and he tells me he hasn't had sauerkraut in 3 days. Well, I knew what he meant, but just to be funny, I cut off his jugular vein with a chainsaw. And he's yelling and screaming and bleeding all over, and I'm like, I hate sauerkraut! But he just keeps rolling around on the sidewalk, bleeding and screaming. Anyway, where was I? Kind of lost my train of thought. Well, okay, anyway, I know it's kind of a roundabout way of saying it, but I guess the whole point I'm trying to make here is I hate sauerkraut! That's all I'm really trying to say. And by the way, there's still a little place